Okay, welcome everybody to the Nechama Minyan teach-in on um, Havdalah. I am Rabbi Geela Rayzel, and I am glad to be here with you, eager students here tonight. So we're going to talk about Havdalah. Let's just see what do you know about it? Like, what do you think it is? What do you know about it? Just tell me what you got, or we should just jump in and start. Just tell me, what do you want to know about it? Give me a hint.
What I know is that it is sort of saying goodbye to the Sabbath bride, and ending Shabbat and beginning the nice week that is about to start. I do not know how to do a service, and I would like to know that because then I wouldn't be afraid to take Saturday
Pick
night.
Havdalah. Excellent. Okay. Rabbi Beth, what do you want to add to that?
Um, where did it start? When did it? Where did it come from? Because I know
Okay.
it's not biblical,
Right.
um, so it's somehow rabbinic.
Good point. We'll get to that. Rainy.
Okay. I know it's the end of Shabbat, and that's pretty much. I mean it. Um, it's supposed to. I don't know, something about we're sad, and that's why we smell
Ah,
the
okay.
the Visamim.
So Rabbi Beth asked a good question. I'm going to start there. Where does ritual, where does ritual in general come from? Who put the Amida together with all the blessings? How did this stuff even evolve? And, they are pretty ancient. They are rabbinic. It is from the men of the Great Assembly. And it says so in Brachot in the Talmud. Let me share this with you, see if you can see these texts. The Mishnah Torah in Brachot. The men of the Great Assembly established the text of the prayer service. They also established the text for the various blessings and for Kiddush and for Havdalah.
Hmm.
So the men of the Great Assembly, if you want to know who that is, we can Google that at some point. But it was the men of the Great Assembly that were putting together the prayers at that time. Then we have these laws about it. The people, what are the laws about it? You do it with the wine, spices, and candles. And it's for a good omen. During Havdalah, we focus our eyes on the cup and the candle. We spill from the cup after Havdalah, extinguish the candle in it, moisten our eyes with it, is an expression of the dearness of the mitzvah. And this, I just picked one or two here because there's many laws, believe it or not, that have to do with Havdalah. What are the pieces? So Havdalah literally is separation, the ritual that marks the end of the Sabbath, separating it from the rest of the week, consists of blessing over wine, fire, fragrances, and the separation between holy time and non-holy time, light and dark, Israel and the rest of the world, a multi-sensory ritual employing our faculties of speech, hearing, sight, smell, and taste to define the boundaries that God set in creation between the sacred and the profane. I kind of like that. So what are the sight is, I guess, the candle, the smell is the spices, the taste is the wine we're speaking, so we're all involved here. It's all in. And it's done after nightfall on Saturday evening. When Shabbat ends, nightfall is when it's dark enough for three medium-sized stars to become visible, because making Havdalah involves actions that are forbidden on Shabbat, like you wouldn't light the candle. So you have to make sure that it's done after Shabbat. So any questions so far? That just gives you the framework, right? Any
Well,
questions?
What was the period of time that these rabbis were doing this?
Rabbi Beth, you know that we can.
Is that
We can
is that 200 BCE?
well, we will. I will have that answer for you by the end of this. Those historians among here who need the dates. Okay, so then what happens after Havdalah actually is something called a Malava Malka. Milave, it's like Livaya is to accompany somebody to a funeral. It's accompaniment. Malava is to accompany the Shabbos queen. You just don't throw her out the door. She has to be escorted out. And so it's traditional to sing songs after that and tell stories and everything like that. So she leaves a trail of joy, and we're supposed to savor Saturday night as taking Shabbat into our week. So that's sort of what they call the pshat, the basics of what Havdalah is. It was set up as this ritual. It mirrors the Friday night ritual where you have candles, wine, and challah. And they used to have, in Sephardic traditions, they also used to have like fragrant herbs. So you welcome Shabbat with all these rituals and also to awaken the senses. And then when you leave, we leave with those two because she's the queen. Okay. I mean, just look at the rituals, when King Charles got crowned and, oh, there's the king right there, the king in the Zoom room. Look at the rituals that, when a king came into the throne room, you gave him pomp and circumstances and you brought out the kids dancing and the flags waving and the horns blowing and, it's royalty that comes into the room. And that's what the Havdalah ritual does. It escorts the queen in and escorts the queen out for Shabbat. Now,
Question.
yeah,
What did you say Malava Malka actually means?
escorting the queen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, so we have the basics of the Havdalah ceremony. It was established by the men of the Great Assembly. It was the blessings of the wine, but the piece that I want to teach you about. Let me share this with you too. That I think is important, and I'll get to this in a few minutes. I know you can't see this very well, but maybe you can. It has these verses, Hine el Yeshuavti eftach v'lo echad. And if you can, I know you can't see this, but down at the footnotes at the bottom, it says where each of these come from. Isaiah, Psalms, Esther, Psalms. So all of those verses that is in that first paragraph, they all have the word Yeshua in them, salvation. Okay, we will be saved, and the men of the Great Assembly took those verses, took sentences from words in the Torah and Isaiah, the prophets, the Psalms, and they strung together these 7 verses so that we'll be saved, like draw waters and joys from the waters of salvation. Deliverance is God. God is with us, So we'll go over those. Then you have this other sort of from the book of Esther, Laihudim haita ora v'simcha v'sason b'karn kain tiyilanu. For the Jews there was light and joy and gladness and honor, so may it be with us. That's straight out of the book of Esther, where the Jews rejoice at the end. So they put that as the final sentence on that paragraph of Yeshua blessings. Then we have the Borei Pri Hagafen, the Borei Mine, Kiddush, Mine Besamim, which is spices, and Me'orei Ha'esh, which is the fire. And then the essential blessing is the one that makes the distinction, the Hamavdil ben Kodesh L'chol, and between sacred and profane, light and dark, Israel and the nations, 7th day. The 6th day Blessed are you, who makes a distinction between sacred and profane. Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol. So that is the, sort of the final, that sort of sums it up. So again, you have these opening lines of salvation, then you have the three blessings in the middle, and then you have the longer blessing of the distinctions. Okay, just so that you understand the format of it. We
Can I
good
ask a
with that?
question?
Yes.
So there is one line in the beginning in the 7 verses where the leader leads most of that the Hine El Yeshuati,
Mm-hmm.
but there is one sentence, and I don't know which one it is or why the congregation actually says, I don't know which one, but they
It's
come back and they
probably it's probably La Yehudim Haita Ora.
I
Well,
think
or Kosh Yeshuot Esav Hashem Adonai Ekra.
I think it's Layudim Haita.
Ora, because that was taken from the book of Esther when all the Jews said there was light and joy and gladness among all the Jews. So in this ritual, it would be there was light and joy and we're all saying it, right? That would be my guess. I
That makes
don't know.
sense.
I don't know, but it would sort of make sense. Um, Rabbi Jay, you want to jump in here? You,
You're doing a
you're
great job.
you're along for the ride. Okay.
Yep.
Now, this does not happen out of context. On Shabbat afternoon, you have to think like God right now. Shabbat afternoon, the day starts on Sunday night, is the first day of the Jewish week. Our days start the night before, and Sunday is the first day. So if you can imagine, before there were days, God is sitting there going, "Oh, what am I going to create on that first day?" Like that. So that time is called the Eight Ratzon. It's the time of will, to create something. So I do refer to this sometimes when I'm there on Saturday nights. What is your week going to look like, right? And so there's the Eight Ratzon. We, not God, are also sad that Shabbat is leaving. So there's this little bit of this bittersweet, melancholy feeling on Saturday afternoon. If you went to a Shabbaton somewhere, or spent a Shabbat at a Hasidic family on Saturday afternoon, they'll have a little meal, they'll sit around, they'll sing songs, they want to stretch out Havdalah, they want to sing a little bit because Shabbos is leaving, right? So you're holding both of these things, the sadness and the intention to create something new and beautiful for the week. So both of those things are in the mood, if you will, of what happens on that Saturday afternoon into Havdalah. This is why Jews are resilient. We're able to hold a lot of pain and a lot of joy at once. That's who we are. And that Shabbos afternoon reflects that as well. So let's just go over these sentences just so that you know those. So, okay. Can you read it, or I need to make it bigger?
That's good.
Can you read it? Let me make it a little bigger. Hold on. And let's put this in a bigger font.
I looked up the men of the Great Assembly. It started with Ezra.
Ezra, there you go.
Ezra started it. So sometime around 515, 520, something like that, BCE.
Thank you, Rabbi Beth. So the first one is Hine El Yeshuati Eftach V'lo Avchad. You are my salvation. I will trust. Eftach V'lo Avchad. I won't be afraid. Lo Lefached. It's the same root. I will not be afraid, because Oz, my strength, V'zimrat Yah, and my song. Zamir is a song. God is my deliverer. Adonai Vayhi Li Shua. So you've got, that's how it starts. And you think about this. There's 7 days of the week. And so there's 7 sentences to kind of get us through the week. Uvshaftim mayim bisason mimayne hayeshua. We draw water and joy from the well of salvation. Ladonai hayeshua alam chaberchotecha sela. God is our deliverance on your people. You'll bless us. Okay. You're seeing my translations. Adonai Tzavot Imanu, Lord of hosts is with us. Miskab lanu, Elohei Yaakov Sela, the God of Yaakov. You're the God of Yaakov. You can see what I did to make a mnemonic for me to remember is Adonai Tzavot Imanu Miskav Lanu, Captain of the heavenly hosts. You're with us when we need you most. That's my English, so that I would remember what these lines meant. I had to put it in my own language. Adonai Tzivaot Ashrei Adam Botech Ba. Adonai, you're the Tzivaot. You're the guardian and the one who praised. Praised be the one who trusts, the one who sits in your presence. We have trust in you. La Yehudim Haita Ora V'Simcha Soson Bikar Kain Tia Lanu. There was light and joy and gladness and honor for the Jewish people. So may we bless. And then there's like this one-liner that the leader does say, Rabbi Beth. Kosh Yeshuat Esa Uvashem Adonai Ekra. The cup of deliverance I will lift up, and the name of God I will call. So that's the one-liner that I know the leader is supposed to lead. Okay, and then you go into Kiddush. So Kiddush, why do we make a Kiddush? Because we make a Kiddush on every occasion that we can think of. That is, we want to bring joy in, because wine, makes you a little happier, stuff like that. Like we make it, we're sanctifying time. Kiddush is the same word as Kodesh for holiness. And then spices, borei mine besamim is this, the smelling of the spices, and that is to what behind this concept, Rainey, I think you referred to this. On Shabbat, we get an extra soul, the neshama yetera. Neshama, soul, yetera is additional. At the end of Shabbat, the yetera part of the soul leaves. So on Shabbat, we're like filled with this extra energy. For those of you who've been to Israel, when you get to, for me, my neshama yetera shows up when I'm in Israel. It's like, whoa, I have more energy in there. I'm just more expanded. I don't even know how to say it. But on Shabbat, we get that extra soul. But when it splits off and leaves, we console ourselves with the spices so that we will not be deflated and fall apart and get sad and everything. So the spices, you know how a smell sort of lingers, so you want that lingering. It restores us. And then Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei me'orei ha'esh, the blessings of fire. And then the what the Havdalah blessing is. Well, and so the fire is with the braided candles, because the braided candles, you're going into the week. You've been in this, it's the words of my song. We're leaving a place where we've been restful. I mean, I put it into Leaving Shabbos Blues up here. Let's see, where is that? I got it here. We had light on Friday night, plus an extra soul, 3 square meals, God only knows. We lit the candle, drank the wine, ate the challah. Okay. So we're leaving the Shabbos blues, that's what you would sing before. It's like, it's a blues song, but we're, Hamavdil ben Kodesh l'chol, we're making this distinction between this cocoon of Shabbat that we've been in with our friends and singing and everything, and going out into the week with the fire ahead of us, to see our spiritual light ahead of us, and we will not be afraid. Okay, so that's kind of the message there. And then, okay, so let me stop the share here, see how we're doing. We good?
Can I get copies of the pages that you were just,
Yes.
especially the first couple,
Yeah.
when you're done?
Yeah, I can send you those.
Thank you.
Okay. You're going to study them, Evelyn. You're a good student.
Well,
All right.
this is very interesting, actually. I didn't know
Okay.
that. I don't
All
know
right.
this
I want to just make
information.
sure you're with me so far because I want to take you a little deeper. Rainy.
Can I
Brittany,
ask a
what's up? Yeah.
question? Is the soul that leaves, is that the same as the bride, or is that different?
Different.
It's
We
different.
have
Okay.
we get the extra soul. The Shekhinah bride is its own entity.
Okay.
Rabbi Beth, did you say
And
something?
and the I mean, I will say that the idea of the bride, which comes into Shabbat with Lecha Dodi and goes out with Havdalah, is a problematic component for many people, women in particular. And so there's been a lot of work on making it different so that it would be able to be enjoyed by everybody without being annoyed.
Okay. Okay.
Did you
Okay.
know that?
Well, I'm not surprised. How have they transformed it? That's what I want to know.
Well, I can't remember, but there are different groups that have made different language,
Right.
and
Yes.
and when they talk about it, they don't talk about a bride.
Got it.
They will say Shekhinah, but they will not use the
The term bride. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, but actually, the bride is for Friday night. The queen is for Saturday night. Malava Malka. She's the queen. Okay. Any other questions? Because I want to cover a little bit more territory here before we get into Minyan. No, we're good. All right. I'm going to share with you. This is I studied Kabbalah with Art Green in rabbinical school, and when I finished studying, I said I cannot write you a term paper because the material was too beautiful, poetic, esoteric. I didn't want to tame it. So I actually wrote what they call in tarjas, like a cantata, a play, and I performed it 18 years later in the Fringe Festival in Philadelphia for 5 years. So, but this is a piece, but I did the research. And so this is a piece, what I've given you now is mostly the background and from rabbinics. But this is from the Zohar and from the Kabbalists, because they took what I just gave you, what the men of the Great Assembly did, and they added the Kabbalistic dimensions to it. So I'm going to share this as I read it. If we were together, we would be reading it in different places. But Shabbat is a sacred circle in time, protecting those who enter her. Din, that's Gevura, supreme judgment, has been absent this Shabbat. We've just been talking for 7 weeks about Gevura. We have been in God's sanctuary this day, wishing to remain singing, delay the departure of the Sabbath queen. We sing slowly and delay the lighting of the candle. Let me turn that to candle, to allow the souls to return to Gehenna. So this is why we don't rush to make Havdalah, because the souls, where the fires of Gehenna have been torturing them during the week. Gehenna is our, underworld hell, so to speak. Then when we light that candle for Havdalah, the lights go back, the fires go back on for the week. Okay? So that's why we don't rush. We light the fire to protect ourselves from negativity during liminal time. At this moment, the heavenly angelic armies, which has been charged over weekdays, return to their stations and appointed task. Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Michael resume command. Angels are guiding me, protecting us wherever we roam. So this is the changing of the guard. We welcome the angels Friday night with Shalom Aleichem, and we also change the angels. It's also part of this ritual of Havdalah. Wine, the sweetness, the sanctification, the substance, it eases the pain of a departing Shabbat. When Shabbat departs, the 3 levels of the soul separate. The neshama ascends and it reconnects with the higher planes. The nefesh and ruach are saddened, and the wine rejuvenates them, bringing down strength from Gevura, stimulating good cheer. Wine, a holy substance, alters our mood, lowers our barriers, softens our border. Wine is dangerous. Ingest with care and recognize your power for good and bad. Then we make the blessing. This was part of a ritual theater piece that I did. Spices. We close our eyes and inhale, for the soul smells all scents and remembers. There is a scientific thing that if I waved some vanilla incense under your nose, you would have a memory associated with some like cookies or vanilla pudding or something that you ate as a kid. Like, we remember things sometimes through smells. We are comforted as the sweet smells that escort our extra soul as it climbs the heavenly ladder to Olam Haba. Our nefesh and ruach are restored, comforted, soothed, lulled into the transition to the week. For the Shekhinah now stands among the myrtles. We are embraced with her fragrance, nestled in the greenery, cleansing our aura, stimulating our senses as we enter the week. So then we move to fire, light and dark. Know that this Shabbat, the fire of the north, the Din, that's the Gevurah fire, has been hidden. During the week, Din has a legitimate place and function, like discernment, safe boundaries, good judgments. That's Gevurah. Yet we must return Din to the world in a timely fashion. You don't want to just throw it all in there. We bless our fire by looking at our fingers. For the 4 camps, the 4 fingers symbolize the angelic realm, and we now transfer the power from Shekhinah, who has been with us Shabbat, to the angels in the lower realms, who keep the universe working in an orderly manner during the week. We must only look at the back of the fingers, which is why we hold the hands like this, and never the inner part of the hand. For the inner part of the fingers are not illuminated by Shekhinah, but by the supernal light on high. Our inner hand is panim. It's like the face of the divine face of the spherotic world. Normally, when we offer blessings, we raise our 10 fingers, revealing all 10 sphirot. But at Havdalah, we bend our fingers downward as the eminence of Shabbat gives way to renewed transcendence. We catch the light, alluding to the lower rungs of the heavenly light of the ladder. We catch the light in our nails. So you're supposed to see your nails reflected in the candle light. This light will illumine our way for the week, reminding us of the power of Shekhinah, her angels, over the forces of evil and harshness. We're reminded of the aura of Shabbat. We crawl out from under our covers where we have been snuggled next to our lover, Shekhinah. Our bodies are chilled as her warmth leaves us, but we're comforted by the scent she leaves behind, by the love that is poured over us, filling us, changing us, transforming our lives. We yearn for her softness, the light of her eyes, the cheers, serenity. Shekhinah Shabbat, we wait your return. Don't forsake us. Keep your arms open to receive our heads on your lap as we study, as we sing, etc., etc. We now must let you go. It's no longer light. And then we sing, but we say, Baruch HaMavdil Ben Kodesh L'chol. So the Kabbalists added this whole layer of the angels and Shekhinah and the fingernails and the whole thing in there. And so that's where all this comes from. Then, I sort of throw in every now and then. But so when people just do the blessings, I'm not going to don't let Marnie in right this second. I think she can come in. Okay. Welcome, Marnie. I'm just in the middle of doing a little teaching on Havdalah. Hi, Reb Chaya, too. Welcome. So when... There's my phone is ringing. Okay. So when we do Havdalah, the ritual of protection, to leave out those 7 verses at the beginning drives me crazy, because that is the ritual of protection. The blessing over the wine and the spices and the candles, that is the ushering of the Shekhinah. But the angels coming in to protect us during the week, those are the blessings that do the magic. So that's why I felt like it needs to be for me. Once you kind of know this stuff, it feels like you need to be it'd be like doing a circumcision without the breed. Like you're not doing the full ritual. Like, so what are the or I'm trying to think of something else, like where you're doing sort of some of it, but you're not doing the piece that is the ritual about the protection going into the week. So for me, those seven lines about Yeshua, the cup of salvation, those to me are what is crucial about Havdalah. The blessings over the wine, spices, and candles. We, most people know those. We can certainly do Havdalah without them, or with them, or without them, but that's escorting the queen. You don't want her to leave, and we don't want to be sad that the queen is leaving, so we do this, and we want that candle to go into the week. So that is what I bring to you here today. And are there any questions?
I will say thank you. I won't leave the beginning out anymore.
Once you know it, you can't do it. Like, once you know this, you can't leave those blessings out, because that's the protection. God is our deliverance. We will draw water and joy from the well of salvation. That to me is the power of this ritual. The queen, we want to usher her out gently and with love and everything. She's not going to get mad at us if we leave us, but if we don't bring those angels in and put that circle of protection around us, like, what are we doing Havdalah for? So to me, that's what the ritual is all about, and which I wanted to present here tonight. So are there any questions? Did I make my
Is
point?
it said, or is it sung, or is it
Is okay.
like
So
logistically?
So if you can only say it, say it. If you add music to anything, it embellishes a ritual. There are many tunes out there. And you can make up your own. You can use one of mine. You can find somebody else's out there. The Debbie Friedman na 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 is fairly standard for just the blessings, although some people use it for the first part as well. But there's no standard tune. Let me say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Questions?
One that's practiced a lot, though, even when I was growing up, is Hine el Yeshuati Eftach velo efchad Ki, I can see, Ki Yosi v'zimrat Yadonai Vayeli Yeshua Ushaftem Mayim Bisason. That melody is what I grew up with.
Okay.
And then
Never
and then,
heard it.
yeah, and so that's when I do it. That's what I use.
Well, this is the thing about Jews. What you grew up with is traditional. So if you grew up in Tennessee, it's very different than New York.
Why don't you drink the wine when you say the blessing, and you wait until after all three are done?
That's a good question. For the official answer, you're going to have to talk to Rabbi Sarah Leah Mazel Tov. But I think the answer is that it's not until we reach that chatima of that last Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, like that's the chatima of all those blessings, that you drink the wine. The other thing you're supposed to do with the wine is, put the candle out in it, put it on your eyes, and may you see good things. You dip your fingers in the wine. May you see good things and hear good things and smell good things and feel good things and have money in your pockets. You use the wine for a blessing for the week.
I want to add to that, because in the wedding blessings, when we do the Sheva Brachot, the first blessing of the Sheva Brachot is the same Kiddush, but we don't drink that until we pour all 7 of those blessings into the cup of wine, and then we drink the wine. So that from that. And then I think that I think that we copy that the eyes and all of that from the Christians because when they do a baptism, they use the same symbols and the same.
We don't copy from the Christians. They have copied
Well,
They
from
copy
us.
from us.
no, they copy from us too, but I have never seen that until recently. And like when I grew up as an Orthodox Jew, we didn't do that, but I have seen it recently. But I also have seen it in at baptisms, and so I was wondering maybe we like we borrowed it. They borrowed it from us, and we borrowed it back.
Maybe. Well, that's how we did with the angels.
Yeah,
They borrowed it from us and we've had to reclaim it.
right.
Same thing
That's
with the
what I
afterlife.
meant.
Same
That's what
thing
I
with
meant.
the afterlife. Yeah. Good. Any other questions?
Please.
Or
Tell
in
me
the
you need.
begin. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Evelyn.
You said the 7 verses of the in the beginning, the 7 lines or 7 verses. I have written down 7 verses of the Shekhinah, but that's the wrong word, isn't it?
It's seven verses from Psalms and Isaiah from Tanakh, from different places in the Torah
Oh, okay.
In the book of Esther.
and the book of Esther. Yeah, Tanakh.
Okay.
Okay. Are we
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
That was excellent. You did a good job.
Why? Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going on screen for 5 minutes, 4 minutes till I
Can
get
I
back
shut
in.
off the recording?
Shut off the recording.
I
Yes,
got
good
it.
point.